Welcome to the Nameless Voices podcast. This is episode 0 because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. My name's Nanashi. I am your host for the day, and I am here with a gaggle fuck of card floppers. Starting at the top of the list alphabetically, we got Commando Xpando. He apparently doesn't have anything to say. He apparently doesn't have anything to say at the moment.
This is such a great podcast.
Right beneath him is Fairy Mommy. If I'm the daddy, that guy's the mommy.
Yeah. Father of the Discord server. Link in the description.
Might as well be. And then right at the bottom of the list, alphabetically, we got Yuken. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm still new to Yu-Gi-Oh! So, yeah.
Well,
fresh meat.
Fresh meat, welcome to hell.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Don't worry, we'll walk you through it step by step.
Oh, well, at least I'm getting some help.
Gonna apologize first off for anyone watching this after we're done recording it. This is gonna be a mess. It's going to be a clusterfuck, a slow-moving car crash, to quote another podcast I listened to. But we're gonna see we're just gonna do it, see where it goes, see what happens. I'm shooting for probably somewhere between half an hour to an hour and a half. Hour is probably what we're gonna look at, maybe longer, don't know. So let's get started. First off, let's get some generic subjects out of the way. What's been going on with everyone in the last month?
Let's see. Hell?
Xpando, you first.
Baby nephew has given me 6 kinds of hell. I heard of the new support that's coming out. My friend Sloan, who loves Blue Eyes, who's actually one of the older duelists by me that still loves Blue Eyes. He's gonna kind of love the fact that Blue Eyes now have their own version of Magical Dimension.
Sounds good.
Let's see. I'm still waiting for my red supernova dragon. Who else? I haven't been to it because of this whole COVID thing. I haven't been able to do a legit tournament with my red dragon Archfiend.
That was actually going to be the next subject I was going to bring up. Okay, how about you, Fairy?
Well, real life stuff is literally just wasting away in my room in this prison during Corona, searching through cards for a reason to live. As for what I've been building, Malefics and Melfies. With that being said, set one pass.
All right, and how about you, Yuken? What are you up to? You're new to the game, or have you ever played it before at all, or?
I used to play the games, like the PSP games and stuff, but
Okay.
that was about it. The last one I played was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force.
Oh wow, you're
the
from
first
Gen
one.
2.
Yeah, I haven't seen or played it in ages, but recently I got into Y-Swords, joined the server, and now I'm getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, that's what multi-interest servers are for, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, and as for me, not much has been happening. I've been doing a lot of night and day shift because of my normal security guard job. Other than that, just sleeping and working. That's basically been my daily life. Being security means I'm an essential services worker, so I don't get laid off unless I'm a dumbass.
Meaning something in life.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a key worker as well.
Oh, really? What do you do?
I'm a milkman.
They still have those?
In the UK, yes, they do.
Wow.
Also, in the UK, they have to legally have the milk in glass instead of plastic.
Oh, that sounds so amazing.
We have glass and plastic.
Really?
Yeah, we have both. We're the only one, but milk deliveries are the only ones that have the glass.
Huh.
That's what's kept the business running, I believe.
You know, I've actually don't think in the entirety of my life I've ever had glass bottle milk.
It tastes so much better.
I have actually. I have actually. I have a Amish farmers market
Oh,
on
you lucky
34th.
duck.
Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can roll up by the Amish. You can roll up by the farmers market. I don't think they're gonna do it this year because of all the corona.
It's
But
fine.
because when I was in Apex, they used to have burrow flavored honey. The guy literally used to make a crack on, yo, this is Brooklyn flavored honey, and
okay, that's actually kind of funny. Okay, as far as Yu-Gi-Oh is concerned, though, I haven't been able to make much because not much has come out recently that piques my interest. Still waiting on the new ban list. That's probably going to drop any day. We all know what we expect to get hit, so we'll cover that in a minute. But I am working on some new deck profiles. I'm updating my Beast spam as we speak to be Melfi Beast, and it's so much fun. It needs a decent hand to do a lot, but it can play off of a minimal hand, and I love it.
And before the ban list comes during the podcast!
Better not, I'm actually going to be pissed.
That'd be nutty.
Yeah, wouldn't that be convenient for everyone involved?
Yeah.
I'm also looking into updating my dinosaur deck because I haven't done much with it, but every time I look at it, it just... The price of that one card, that new dinosaur card I need, that bedazzled butthole himself, Archosaur.
that jewel thing.
That bedazzled butthole, that price tag on that just makes me not even want to update my dinos until something is done about it. I've got one copy, and I need 2 more from the build I'm working with to work.
Yeah, I need 3 and 1 for 1.
I need 1 for 1 too. I forgot to order that. I'll have to put it in order for that, as well as a bunch of reptile stuff for my aliens.
Also, all I'm waiting for is the 2020 tin so they can reprint Solid Pyro Phoenix, because that's literally the only thing that's missing from my Salad deck.
Oh yeah, the gold tin is complete and utter trash. Unless you want stuff that's already been out for like a year. I will say, the Extravagance reprint is nice. That's probably going to make the price drop way hard. And the Coral Anemone reprint means I can get another copy of that. I'm happy.
Yeah, but mostly I just need the Boral stuff and Pyro Phoenix.
We're talking a lot about recent cards, by the way, Yuken. This is all stuff that's come out within the last year or so, and it's being reprinted in one gigantic mega tin that looks like a gold sarcophagus box.
That sounds cool.
It is. It makes it a lot easier to get
Dark Magician
powerful
ritual
cards.
support.
Oh yeah, and then of course the problematic card, the new Dark Magician fusion monster between it and Red Eyes Black Dragon, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, or whatever the hell its name is.
Summon price tag and turn.
People
are smiley face.
Fucking insane.
Yeah, it can't be destroyed by any. It can't be targeted. It can't be destroyed except by battle. It can negate crap, and it can blow up things and make itself stronger. It's so easy to pull, and now that we have this card called Verde Anaconda, you can literally play it out of deck.
Don't worry, Metaphys will save the day. It can vanish.
Provided they don't get negated. Oh wait, the field spell.
No, I meant I think it's Daedalus. Daedalus banishes all monsters
Daedalus
on the field that are special summoned.
So Dark Magician has become even stronger.
Dark Magician is now its own independent deck.
You bait Metaphys with Nephthys, and then you summon it off of Tyrant if you get Lupine on the field without being negated, which you probably would just bait with Imperm. I would know this. I actually did this, and the person fucking scooped.
Imperm is...
I made Meta Dragon scoop with fucking Daedalus.
Yeah, that tends to happen. Metaphys are such an interesting archetype. I used to play them. They're literally whitewashed versions of existing dragon cards that have been around since Gen 1 of the game, but have new, honestly really cool effects, in a sense, that make them so much better. Like Daedalus, Tyrant Dragon, Decoy Dragon, so many cool little cards. They've all been turned into Wyrm types, which is a recent monster type. And they have a field spell that says your opponent can't respond to any of the monster effects, which means if you can get your setup beforehand and your opponent doesn't get smart to what you're doing, you can just wreck their board. It's hilarious. The only problem is it's still just a little bit short supported right now. It needs more cards in my opinion, and it's pretty vulnerable to interruption until it gets its field spell out.
That's fair.
It actually is, and the deck isn't that expensive either, unless you want to go for some more expensive techs. I think you can get the entire core for what was it, $30 maybe?
It's probably cheaper.
Yeah, I think the most expensive card in the set is their draw spell, which is a continuous soft once per turn spell. Banish something, draw a card. If something gets banished on your turn, it also reduces all non-Metaphys monsters' attack by 500. So now it's twice as easy to kill things.
Nice. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm trying. As I said, I've made Metaphys a bit better. I'm fucking working on trying to make Metaphys a bit more.
Well, if you ever do happen to finish that build, share it in the Discord, and I'll gladly look over it. I love the Gradius beatdown deck that I have right now, but I don't know how long it's going to last, especially if that reprint of Extravagance doesn't drop the price.
Ugh. I can't wait for that, honestly.
Tell me about it.
Actually, I'm honest. If I get, I'm fucking running. Ooh.
Well, look who decided to join
Mimi!
us. It's a Mimi.
Mimi, I don't know who you are, but I love you. Mike.
Hello, person.
Mike working. Oh, there you go. There we go. Oh shit! I almost forgot about Monster Reborn. I almost forgot Monster Reborn and Dark Magician.
You are a bad duelist, and you deserve nothing but the Shadow Realm.
I'm sorry, Dad.
God, don't ever call me that again. That's creepy. Yeah, I regret my initial decision.
Flying, horny, humping dildos with tube and destruction.
Also, you know the funny thing that happened to me while I was on Dueling Nexus?
No, why don't you enlighten us?
It was because I'm gonna draw it out one day because I was actually facing the Dragoons deck, and Dragoons was about to go be like, all right, I nuke Red Supernova, and Red Supernova, and he forgets that, aha, I can't be destroyed, and I banish everything on your field. He's like, ha, I can't be targeted. So it ended up being a giant tennis match that eventually crashed the whole system. Crashed the server.
In EDO Pro, I was testing my new main deck, my Roll Mages. I ended up getting over 180,000 life points.
Very nice.
God.
I mean, the most I can really do is like 20,000 attack points on a couple of monsters in my Gradius Rush deck, and tokens that are probably about 6,000 each.
I was fighting a Goki deck, and he brought up a monster up to like 12k in attack power, and it still didn't kill me. And I just killed all that next turn.
Well, look who it is. The headmaster of anyways.
I managed to resolve... go ahead.
The headmaster of the New Obsidian Duel Academy herself. Give a warm welcome to Lady Sarisa.
No.
You were just in time to join us in talking about fun card games we've had.
I was telling them about that Row Mage duel I showed you, sorry.
Do you mean the one that I recorded and posted on YouTube?
Yes. Yes.
Plug in?
Wait, what?
Free advertisement? Anyway.
Yeah, anyways.
Wait,
So,
you first. You first, but I have a story.
that's fine. Go ahead and tell your story, because after that, we're going to move on to some other topics. Uh-oh, someone just left.
Everyone
that would be Mimi.
Aw,
Mimi.
Mimi just dropped. That's a shame.
No problem.
Anyways, you were saying maybe she'll come back.
Yeah, maybe. So I've said it like a ton of times, but it's never been like on YouTube, on like any thing. So I'm just gonna put it out there. During the 2019, right before like I think it was right before or when Goki Link was just starting to gain traction. Everyone was just playing around with with the new links and everything. I still had my True King Dino deck. I think Soul Charge was still at 1, and there was some other stuff that was still out, but Diagram was at 3, Terra was at 2, and I saw that a lot of people were grabbing the special edition of the Boral pack. I don't know what one that was, but when Rockets and Borals were just coming out, and that specifically had Wing Dragon of Raw Sphere mode. So I was like, oh, okay, a lot of people are going to be doing that. And I just get the fucking most wicked idea to get 3 Order of Obedience. No, Lullaby of Obedience. And then I get my Battle Pack 2, Wing Dragon of Raw out with it. And I basically dominated the locals because they wouldn't be able to out their Wing Dragon of Raw Sphere mode, and I would commit just like to getting 3 monsters on the board while still having some resources, and I would just Lullaby of Obedience turn 3 or turn 3, call Wing Dragon of Raw Sphere mode if they hadn't gotten it out, or if they went first, I do the same thing. They'd special summon it because they didn't want me to use it each time, and I would just do the raw chant. Like 3 different people scooped, and the rest of the time I was just fucking OTK them outright because everyone had Wing Dragon of Raw Sphere mode decided to out my board just for me to summon Wing Dragon of Raw and for them to be unable to get rid of it, either by it being too powerful or just by me having Ultimate Conductor Tyreno to just set all their monsters.
So, in other words, you just caused them to flip table and just walk away.
Yeah.
In my old burn deck back in the Synchro era, I could do 8,000 damage in 1 turn.
Very nice.
Bad reaction to Smochi plus gift cards plus Path of Destiny.
Oh, Nurse Burn, it sounds like.
No, not Nurse Burn. Not exactly.
Not exactly? What?
Gift card. Heals the opponent for 3,000
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad reaction to Samochi, doesn't that make it instantaneous? Like, everything that's regained just dealt damage instead.
Yeah.
It's like a monster. Okay.
And then Path of Destiny. Both players flip a coin. If you get heads, you gain 2,000 life points. If you get tails, you lose 2,000 life points.
Hang on. First off, Yuken, where you're still new to the game, you probably don't know quite what we're talking about. You're aware that You're aware that cards do battle damage, and you're aware that cards do effect damage.
Yeah.
There are decks that are dedicated to doing nothing but giving the opponent's life points in large quantities, but playing either Nurse Reficule, or as she's now known, Dark Lord Nurse Reficule or whatever, or a trap card called Bad Reaction to Samashi, which reverses any life point gain given to the opponent into damage. And if you go first with a deck like this, and you get the right lineup of cards, you can just instantaneously wipe out an opponent's life points in a single turn, and they won't get an opportunity to do anything.
It's like, where my life points go?
So basically, with just with 4 traps on the beginning of the enemy's turn, I would dump 8,000 damage to the enemy at once.
I remember doing 19,000
I love you.
damage. It was like 19,000 or 21,000 damage in a single attack.
By the way,
literally.
I love you, Foxy Fox.
Thanks.
I love you.
But anyways, Yuken, did you have anything you wanted to contribute to that little area of the game now that you know about it?
Not really. It doesn't really sound like something that would be fun to go up against.
It's not, because you don't.
As Genji puts it, I need healing.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty hardcore. Okay, so
don't piss off the healer; she'll burn you.
Well, Commando bailed. It looks like. Hopefully he'll be back.
The masters of life and death.
If we're gonna talk about like how much damage we've dealt in a single turn, I managed, I think, to do 19k or 21k in a single attack. So everyone knows Gandora probably from the fact that Ushiji had to ban one of the cards because it could instantaneously deal. It basically could TK through boards just because of like the effect just not being like the TCG effect. But not everyone knows about Gandora Gigaray as the Dragon of Destruction. It's the third one. I'll read out the text. I'll read it out. Cannot be normal summon set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by sending 2 other monsters from your hand and or field to the graveyard. Gains 3,000 attack for each banished card. Once per turn, you could have your life points apply one of these effects depending on the number of Gandora monsters with different names in your graveyard. 1. Destroy all other cards on the field. 2. Banish all other cards on the field. 3. Banish all other cards on the field and in the graveyards. So then they're all level 8. What I did, my go-to deck in anything, and when Gandora Giga comes out, regardless of the price tag, I am going to be building this deck. I would run Danger Dark World.
Shut up.
Level 8 variant. Level 8 variant. Rip Darkhold. Rip Galaxy Eyes Darkhold. Favorite card. Miss it so dearly.
Can I say another deck I used to use?
What?
May I finish?
I'm sorry.
You're good. So like in this duel, I literally ran through my whole deck because I had to play through a couple things, and then when I finally did, I was like, okay, let's go. And I just drew ridiculously. I drew incredibly off Saryuya. So when he Nibiru'd me, I was like, okay, I don't even care. And just proceeded to go entirely through my deck until I had I think 1 card left, and I think that card was Upstart or just a spell card that was dumb. And then I resolved Gandora and I swung for game, and it was 19,000 or 21,000. But yeah, my whole fucking deck was banished.
You know, that's a great story, but I should probably tell you something else. If you go back and look at one of my older videos, one of the more recent videos I made, where I showed off the Gradius Gadget Kaiju build, the all-light deck I've been fiddling with, there's actually a game where I faced off against a Gren Maju player. He had a pair of that spell Soul Absorption, and he had depleted nearly everything out of his deck. He had 20-some thousand life points, and I still beat him with only 1 attack, because people don't understand just how powerful Limiter Removal, Honest, and what was the other spell again? Leeching the Light is in a deck of all light monsters and all machines. I ended up with a gold gadget that was over 20 grand and a Jizukiru that was 22 grand. That was 22 grand? Yeah, you should totally take a look at that because it's hilarious. 1 shot, did game damage, and I beat a Grand Maju player that had so many cards banished that if he had drawn and sat on a Grand Maju, I probably would have lost beforehand. Or it would have made it 10 times worse for him because, honest is a thing.
I had, but what I was gonna say, one of my friends back in the day, back in the Synchro era, Ubel had just, this was like right after the Synchro era started, and Ubel had dropped. Ubel and Montage Dragon. My friend made a Ubel Montage Dragon deck, discard 3 rank 3 Ubels to bring out a Montage, and then use that equip spell that increases power for every effect monster in the graveyard.
Uh-huh. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a dick move.
Wait, what was the combo?
Okay, Ubel, the third
Yeah.
version of Ubel is a 13-star monster.
Yeah. Wait,
Montage
13?
Dragon.
Well,
Yes,
Wait.
Montage Dragon does. Oh, I'm sorry, I completely forgot, Mama. I'm sorry. But as I was saying, Montage Dragon gains 500 attack for every star of the 3 monsters you discard. 12-star monsters.
that's 36 stars if you drop 3. And how much does Montage Dragon gain off of each star?
300.
500.
That's 10,800 attack points. Oh no, wait,
And then the equip card.
that's 18,000. That's 18,000 attack points.
It's 3,600 each. Yeah.
And then the equip spell that gives more attack power according to the number of effect monsters in your grave. Times I think it was like 500. I don't remember the equip spell's name. I'm doing this off memory from years ago.
I can't remember that far back. The best I can remember of the best thing I've ever done was I stopped summoning great.
Somebody magic cylindered me for 8,000 damage exactly.
Oof.
That I've had that happen to me before. It's never fun.
No. Okay, so I think this is a good point to segue into our next list of topics, being what's going on in the actual competitive game. Because to be perfectly honest, I don't have a fucking clue.
Well, besides you and I saw the argument you and Rada got into, Nanashi.
Oh yeah.
Famous Rada.
Yeah, God, I was hoping people would ignore that. I wasn't arguing anything. I was.
Wait, what?
Okay,
Rada's one of the famous Yu-Gi-Oh YouTubers.
No, I know about Rada, but I didn't know this beef happened. Ooh,
you got
spicy drama. Let's get those views.
Okay, let's just get this out of the way. It wasn't a beef. I was playing devil's advocate and just saying there's a lot of people in the there's a lot of people in the US. A lot of them get off work at the same time. They come home, they see what's going on Twitter with the poll, with the create a card thing, and in my eyes, it wasn't impossible that all of them voted for the same thing at roughly the same time and caused an increase within a couple of minutes of each other.
Was it worth it, Valkyrie? Was it worth it?
But the point I was making...
Was it worth it, Valkyrie?
Anyways, I ended up responding on Rada's comment without really realizing who I was responding to, but it didn't really matter because it was just a point. I was saying that, there's a ton of people in the U.S. who all would vote for the same thing at the same time if they saw it at roughly the same time. If everyone's getting off work and coming home around 6 o'clock and that's when everyone's sitting down, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that a couple hundred Yu-Gi-Oh voters would vote for the same thing at the same time. But then it came out shortly after that people had botted the votes, and now I regret ever bringing it up in the first place.
I mean, it does happen.
You are already dead.
I actually got in an argument with one of Matt's friends on his server, eHero Matt, and then...
Oh, by the way, sorry, yeah. I wanted to make sure you're okay. I was kind of worried about you after last night.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
This is a podcast. Let's save that.
Sorry, I worry about my friends. I'm sorry.
All right, well, let's get into this. What in the world is the current meta deck situation right now? Is it still Adamancipator, Spam, and Engine Eldritch or whatever?
Currently, yes, but
Altergeist are back in top tier.
I'm sorry, what?
Altergeist is not top tier.
Altergeist 2020.
Altergeist currently is considered as a rogue deck, a very powerful rogue deck. Right now, Adamantipator and Eldritch are topping, but it might turn into Megalith and Drytron or that other.
Drytron, yeah. Okay,
Yeah. Making a more of appearance.
It's fine. Yuken, since you probably don't know what we're talking about as far as the archetypes are concerned, I'll fill you in real quick. Up
Alright.
until recently, the biggest meta decks were Adamantipator, which is an archetype based around spamming rock monsters, which turned out to be another generic synchro summoning deck, which was a summoning method that came out after you stopped playing.
It really
Uh-huh.
rocks.
You proud of that one? You proud of that one?
Yes.
What?
Yes, we
What?
are.
We all on Pride Rock here.
Hey, don't my puns shake you to the core?
You're
God
funny.
fucking God, stop. Okay, no.
Hey,
Okay,
you just have to roll with the punches.
Stop! Stop this man!
Anyways,
Stop this man, he's making an unbreakable board!
Adamantipator are all
rocky
about creating tons of synchro monsters and interference that says you have a really difficult time playing the game.
Borrelow's Savage
It
Dragon's
makes
a
the duel
perfectly
very
balanced
rocky
card.
for their opponent.
I actually face bombed.
Anyways, on the other side of that was Eldritch, which is an almost entirely spell and trap archetype that throws spell traps onto the field and in the graveyard that have two specific purposes. One, they summon their boss monster, which is a 10-star light zombie with decent stats, and two, remove themselves from the graveyard to pull out other monsters, or other trap cards and spell cards from the deck that end up doing the exact same thing. They are a reciprocating deck. And they do use trap monsters. I don't know if you remember that. Embodiment of a Popus from way back when.
Yeah, I remember that card.
But yeah, that's all it is. It's a deck that's originally was designed to just summon one boss monster repeatedly over and over, and if you do have him on board, you can play some other zombies, but it turned out to not even matter, because all anyone ever wanted to do was play him.
It really...
Oh, and Numeron.
Yeah, I was actually getting
really
to that.
Hey, guys, that deck really kills people. Are my puns really killing you guys?
That one.
Not funny.
Not
Didn't
funny.
laugh.
Didn't laugh.
What? Guys, you don't have to be so
Wait,
grave.
wait,
You guys don't have to be so grave about my puns.
Oh my fucking God!
We'll stop being grave when your puns rise above ground level.
But yeah, we have the standard back row deck. The deck with incredible boards that make cards like Nibiru necessary for the game. And then the new shining star that prevents anyone from doing anything by doing something fucking simple.
Well, to continue with what I was saying before, Eldritch is enough to fill a deck, but some people have been thinning it out and adding other engines. I think the biggest one up until recently was adding an engine that did a bunch of token production, link summoning, synchro summoning, and ended on another one of those Omni negate boards that makes it really hard to play the game.
You're welcome.
But now people have started putting in this new archetype of Xyz monsters, which is just summoning a bunch of little piddly things and combining them all into one super monster that says, for the next turn, you can't do shit.
We lost Sergeant Chaos Force for this!
They really spoil the game.
Another card yet again as plot armor.
just infinite impermanence. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, and then continuing on from that, Altergeist is a heavy floodgate style control deck that limits the opponent's ability to play, and on the off chance to actually get something on board, it tends to be removed faster than you can say, I summon this monster. By the time you finish the sentence, it's already back in your hand, and you're wondering what just happened.
Or your opponent or the Altergeist player just sides in Mystic Mine.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started
I'm
on
being
Mystic
called.
Mine. It's a new card that came out recently that says if you have more monsters than the opponent, then you can't activate any effects or attack.
It
Pe-
hurts.
yeah,
It
yeah,
hurts spam players like myself.
yeah, it really does. Competitive gameplay in this game has been whittled down to who can eliminate player two. That's why I don't take part in competitive events hardly at all anymore. I just play for
Who
kicks,
who can't play the deck harder?
pretty much. And then after that, we were talking about the new Drytron deck. Was that the other thing on the? Oh no, it was that ritual archetype, Megalith. Megalith is the weirdest ritual archetype we've ever had in the game. It is an archetype that does not have a ritual spell. They ritual
I
summon off of each other.
I actually faced against that on one of my streams one time. I was very confused.
Yeah, they have everything under the sun in terms of card types, but all their monsters are rituals. They don't have a ritual spell, and that's because they don't need it. And the biggest problem they have is an 8-star monster that says depending on how many rituals of different names are in your graveyard, they can just they can destroy an entire board's worth of cards.
Nice.
Which makes me go, what?
I kind of hope that they become meta. We need
They
something
prob
else in the game.
they very well might, because they did win an online tournament. I know they got up there in an online tournament.
The thing
This
is,
And
until their most
eh,
recent support cards, they didn't do much. They had most of what they have now. They just didn't have as much level fluctuating ability so they could ritual summon easier in most players' turns. And now they do, and now they're becoming a problem. That and Block Dragon still exists, which, oh, we got a lot to talk about when it comes to this upcoming ban list.
Oh, God.
Top of the list. Okay, let's just go right into the ban list discussion here. Top of the list. Yay or nay, Block Dragon?
they're just
what?
gonna put it to one. They're just gonna put it to one. Problem solved. Just gonna put it to one. Because that's what they do.
No,
Like
they might actually outright ban this one because we actually have the ability to search Block Dragon. An 8-star monster that if it goes from the field to the graveyard searches 3 different rock monsters to hand, as long as their levels total 8, that's not going to fly if Megalith and Adamancipator exist. They need to kill that card, especially since it's searchable now.
I don't think they're going to do it. They
I
didn't hit Emancipator before. They unhit like a lot of other cards.
Well, yeah, there's no
Like
competitive events.
what they do, well, in general, even then, what they did, like what they first did with Sky Striker and the meta cards back then with Thunder Dragon, they hit a few cards around it and like pretended that it, and people pretended like it. I guess pretended like it was resolved. Like they hit Sky Striker, they hit Thunder Dragon, and they hit everything around it, and they pretended like it was problem solved. They didn't actually deal with it. Like I think this next ban list is just going to be like they're going to limit the power slightly, but not really, because something else will come up. Because that's what they do. They'll hit it so it's not as powerful, and then if there's another deck that's going to come in for the next booster set, it'll come in, and then they'll finally hit it in the second ban list. I hope that's not the case, but that's just what I've noticed.
That tends to
They
be
did.
Yeah, that tends to be the trend actually. You're not wrong. I'm just hoping that given how much trouble these decks have been causing in the game right now, and for the longest time now, we should be seeing actual hits on the ban list that limit their power. All I want is for them to ban Block Dragon, ban Link Cross, and
The link.
ban ban Halka-Fibrex.
I think
You're killing me, brah.
That or
personally,
O-Lion. Either Halka-Fibrex or O-Lion.
I want fucking Burrow Load Savage Dragon to be banned
That would be good.
because
But probably won't
because a lot of decks can just put it in. A lot of decks can just synchro summon into it generically after doing a link summon. It's not even with Halki-Fibrax. I ended up actually managing to do that in Danger Dark World, which is it's really easy. Just put in Cerberus and the level 6 engine, which you might even use the level 6 engine for DDD High King Caesar, because that can just prevent Nibiru from being hit, you getting hit by Nibiru. And then I can just link into Saryuya, use its effect, link it off into something else. If I haven't gotten a good board, I could just do Needle Fiber into Fabled Cerberus, and then just summon it, equip Saryuya, 4 counters, pass. Like, it's not that hard to get out at all, and it has just a negating effect in general. It's going to continue to see play.
Hang on, Mimi.
Okay.
Let me. So
go ahead and get it out of your system.
basically, Danger, Dark World can run it. Any other synchro deck can run it. Adamantipator is running it. Thunder Dragon, Chaos Thunder Dragon ran it. Other synchro decks are going to run it. It's going to continue to be there. I think it needs to go, just for the fact of it's going to be a generic negate that isn't the boss monster of the deck. Like, for fuck's sake, they already have Adamantipator Dragite. Get Savage Dragon out of there. Especially with the fact that the fusion, the Red Eyes, what is it called?
Red Eyes Dragoon.
Dragoon of Red Eyes is going to come out. It's just going to be on the top of Dragoon of Red Eyes. They're just going to have that as the end board. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if, like, a dragon deck just ended up with Dragoon of Red Eyes and Borreload Savage Dragon as their end board.
Fairy, that deck sounds like a drag.
Anyways, I can kind of see what you mean. I used to run Borreload Savage Dragon in an old Synchro Crystal Beast deck before, I think it was Ib. No, hold on.
Ib the World Chalice.
Yeah, Ib the World, before that got banned.
Because that was necessary.
What I did was I used Dragon Links to go with Crystal Beast, so I can go into double Saruja, so I can make a bunch of Crystal Beast plays, and then I got Borreload Savage Dragon. I actually got a triple negate board.
Ib the World Chalice Miko is the deck. Is the card, by the way, for anyone that has only played Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently, like Yuken or others. Ib the World Chalice Miko, it was basically, it's a generic...
It's a +2 generic synchro monster.
Yeah, if it's Synchro Summon, you can add 1 World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. There are 2 cards. One's a continuous spell, and then there's another normal spell that's basically Monster Reborn if you control a Link monster that's pointing to your zones. And then there's a continuous spell, World... I have...
Yeah, there's World Chalice Guard Dragon.
Yeah, World Legacy Succession for the spell search, or World... give me a sec. World Legacy Guard Dragon, which is when this card's activated, you can target 1 level 4 or lower dragon monster to your graveyard, add it to your hand, or special summon it, and then it allows you to move a dragon monster from whatever. What people would either do is they would search Succession, or they would search Guard Dragon. If it were Guard Dragon, which a lot of decks used, they would use World Legacy Guard Dragon. They would summon it, they would activate the effect, summon something, and then they would link off Miko into Guard Dragon. Gotta find the name. World of Chalice Guard Dragon, which it's World Chalice Guard Dragon is a level 1 wind dragon type monster. So it can be summoned off Miko, and it can be linked off for Guard Dragon LP, Guard Dragon Pissy. And then, back then, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon wasn't errata, so people would just spam the hell out of that in order to summon a bunch of dragon monsters along with it. And then World Chalice Guard Dragon could summon a normal monster from your graveyard once you used it as link material for Arpley, Pissy, or even like for Link Karibo if you ever bricked.
You basically had all the Monster Reborns.
Yeah. That's what it ended up being, just infinite resummon for infinite extra deck plays. And that's what a lot of decks have come down to these days. Very few decks play powerfully out of the main deck.
Miko needed to be hit because if Crystron Needle Fiber was out during it, like people would link out it into they would link it and something else into Needle Fiber, use Needle Fiber, use Miko together in the same chain.
Wait,
And
you're
you'd have-
saying it's my fault?
No.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Okay. Let's not
I did all
explain
that.
how all these decks work because that's just going to take a lot of time. The short of it
It
is,
really would.
the short of it is,
Basically, you'd get an incredible amount of benefit and deck searching and summoning for fucking nothing.
there you go. That's the easiest way to make it.
In other words, it's like that person that always gives 120% no matter what, aka that person that's way too extra.
Like me.
And me.
We don't
And
talk
you
about
guys
it.
you guys didn't even get the pun.
We stopped listening to your puns a while ago. No
Okay.
hate me, Mila. All love. I swear.
Okay. So, I think the next
But
thing
yeah.
we should probably talk about would be the new product we have coming, the Gold Sarcophagus 10 reprints. We kind of touched on it beforehand. Is anyone even going to invest in this, or are they just going to buy the singles and be done with it?
I can't even buy cards. I live on disability, so I have 0 free money. Like after
What
bills
is-
and stuff.
Wait.
Well, I'm talking about people who actually have money to buy physical cards with.
Okay.
Good.
Depends on what they
Probably-
cost.
Depends on what the singles are. I don't remember what was all in there.
It's pretty much
The
every
singles
valuable. It's pretty much every valuable card that's come out of the last 4 packs that we've gotten over the last year or so. It's going to have an Extravagance reprint, and it's going to have a Marincess reprints, which I'm all for. Those are the only cards I really need, is Extravagance and the Marincess Link.
I will probably still buy the singles.
I wonder if this if it's confirmed that you get all 3 of them, if it's confirmed that you get each of all 3 of them in it, or if you just get one, I might consider buying one. Just because like not only like could I get Dragoon of Red Eyes, I already have Verte Anaconda and other stuff because I actually managed to pull it luckily from the thing. I actually managed to pull Verde Anaconda. And I already had 3 Red Eyes Fusion from building Red Eyes a long time ago before this new monster happened. And then, I honestly might at least do one, just because like it benefits a lot of my decks. I actually have Rocket, huh?
The poof.
Looks
We
like
lost
Yuken.
somebody.
Looks like Yuken just left.
They'll probably come back. I might do it just because of like it. There are a couple decks that I didn't want to get stuff in because of the prints were just too much. But now maybe, especially since like Borrowload Savages and Pot of Extravagances. There's also other cards. Did they reprint No Material?
Well, who is this?
It's a sad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks. But because he doesn't have quite a high enough role to actually vocally join in, he was probably going to leave.
Oh, bye.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing you have it set up to where
The only people who can really talk in the well, hello Yosh.
Yoshi!
Yosh!
Yoshi, the many approves of you!
Robot! The bot's been in the Discord, help!
I'm so sorry, I was doing something for school.
It's cool, man. Welcome to the
I didn't see a time
podcast.
till now, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It's all good.
Everybody, I'm sure you've all met them, but for the audience who is going to be watching this in the near future, this is our main man, the Lem Lizard himself, YugiYosh.
The speaker read it as Blem instead of Mlem.
What?
Mlem.
To those that don't know me, my name is Mimikyu. I go by aka Mimicutie. I am a streamer on Twitch, but
Redundant plug is redundant. I'm going to be dropping everybody's links in the video description at the end of this.
oh,
If everybody wants to give them to me when we get a chance, Like at the end of the podcast, drop a link to whatever you want me to advertise in the in the podcast chat, and I'll throw it in at the end of the video.
I'm pretty sure you already have mine since we constantly work together.
That's true. I do help you collab on a lot of your Smash montages.
A lot of them, my dude. You collabed on almost all of them. No, all of them recently, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've just been doing the fancy editing and sound effects in the background. If you haven't seen the latest one, it was actually a birthday present for my wife Alice. She had a birthday just this last Sunday, August 9th, and she...
Yay! Happy Hanukkah!
Anyways, we made a montage involving Solid Snake because she's a big fan of the Metal Gear Solid video game franchise, and... Oh... Yosh, some of the sound effects you asked me to work in there and adjust for, they were something else.
Josh,
Yo.
I was gonna say.
No, I tapped it by accident.
Hang on. What were you saying, Mimi?
That you told you about with my Rome mages that I sent to Sorry that she made the video of. I am gonna send it to you also so you can just look at it if you want.
Yeah, sure. Send it to me in a DM and I'll take a look at it later.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, well, okay, that was fast. Anyways.
Instant.
Yeah, anyways, what were you gonna say, Yosh?
Well, I just tapped my button, but what do you mean by they were something else?
They were something else, as in they were
a pain.
No, they weren't difficult or anything. It's just the end result of some of these sounds and how well they were appropriate for the scenarios that occurred. Like anytime, I don't know how many of you in our little group here play Smash at all, but Solid Snake is a playable character, of course, and he has that thing where he can ignite a placed bomb on someone or something. And every time that happened, just about, Yosh here had me use Yoshikage Kira's button click for when he ignites one of his bombs in JoJo's Bizarre Fucking Adventure.
Which is one of the best animes ever.
Yeah.
No,
I still can't believe it's not butter.
I honestly had no idea that Alice liked Metal Gear Solid. I just went with the idea that since Snake is
what? You cut out.
Snake's the killer.
Sorry, touch speak is really finicky. Basically that he's a one-to-one of Kira in Eyes of Heaven.
Yeah, you know what? That actually makes sense too. She loves Yoshikage Kira. She has custom art made where she, in her full Riolu glory, is sitting in a throne with Killer Queen right by her side. It's something else.
Is there anything that she doesn't like?
Mimes. Clowns.
Okay. Okie dokie then.
Wait, did you say mods?
Mimes.
The mimes?
Okay, so like different...
In and out.
Fuck push to talk, seriously. Different clown species is what I meant to say.
Basically, yeah. She hates clowns. And I'm not a big fan either. All I want to do is go Hong Kong as my fist goes through their face and pushes them down a flight of stairs. Anyways.
Just think about just tell Discord to stop clowning around.
My thoughts exactly. I fucking hate push to talk.
Just don't have your wife watch it. It'll be fine.
Nah, the original It is fine. This new one's a garbage fest.
I actually quite like it.
I disagree.
Kills me.
I will respectfully disagree. I think it was actually better than the original.
The movie itself might be, but the characters are not. The reason the original It Clown is better than any rendition of the It Clown that we have now is purely because the one we had beforehand had character. He had personality. This one's just...
He looked like Doink the Clown from wrestling.
Yeah, so what? The appearance isn't what matters. He's a fucking clown. Of course he's going to look like a completely redonkulous person.
No, that's not a complaint. I'm just saying that's what he looked like, and I love it.
Oh, my bad. Let's get back to this subject at hand, shall we?
He's Mr.
I never finished my thought on the new set. That's right.
Can I say one thing? It's a bit of a subject change, but I like to look up leaks and stuff, and a new archetype of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is coming called the Ripple.
The what now?
The who now?
The Ripple, R-I-P-P-L-E. They're a series of water aqua monsters, and they all have the word the Ripple in their name.
Oh no.
I need an adult.
They're gonna JoJo that. They're gonna JoJo that and call it Hamon.
Or no, I always confuse Hamon and the spin for some damn reason.
The rotation.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just call it the spin because it's like, I don't
That's
end up
fine.
twisting off my
well,
words
thank
in
you
one
it's
syllable.
called the archetype's called the Ripple, and it's like Maiden of the Ripple, Dragon of the Ripple,
Oh,
and they're all
God.
water, aqua, elemental, like water-based monsters.
Okay, that's actually good, because that means that we might be looking at support for my penguin deck.
Penguin.
They all
I just
they only
want water
they
support
only
in
summon
general.
they only summon each other. They are, according to the leaker, they are the new Black Wings for 2021 that work
Boo.
on link summoning.
That's a shame, but I'll look and see what they do.
On. Can they fucking stop making link
But they
decks for water? Link
they said-
water decks. Just make link effect decks in general.
But
Sorry,
no, it's according to the leaker, the main effect of the Ripple is that certain link monsters can be link summoned with monsters from your deck.
Oh. Okay, now
no.
that's actually interesting. It's ripe for abuse, but if it only uses its own archetype to link with, then that shouldn't be a big deal. I'm actually interested in now.
This
Sounds like
terrifies
how
me.
Genesis works.
According to the theme, it's supposed to be like how one small ripple can make a bigger ripple and a bigger ripple.
That makes sense. Okay, well, thank you for that. Any information on Twin Thief?
The leaker didn't say anything about that. He stated about like 4 new archetypes that were coming.
4?
Oh, the Magis thing. I'm kind of expecting Magis to be like this magical version of DDD.
The Magis are supposed to be like the jack of all trades that each of them specialize in a different type of quote unquote magic, like fusion, Xyz, link.
Yeah, we know. The problem with that is the archetype is so boring.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
enjoying it.
I took one look at it, and the artwork is beautiful. The card effects are okay. It's another spellcaster archetype that does the exact same thing I've seen done in other archetypes. I don't see anything unique in it.
I don't want to see another fucking invoke deck again.
Exactly. That's all I see. It's Invoke Junior over there, and
Not for anything like. I'm tired of seeing all these negate decks, and I'm tired of seeing support or indirect support for decks like that. Like I saw those, I'm like, these are just gonna support like old decks that have negates. Like I saw the Alistair one, the card that supports invoked, and I was like, oh, a light spellcaster monster for invoked. Mechaba Father. What I'm saying is I'm getting tired of support or either new or whatever for decks that are just going to end board in negates.
the same thing every single time.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sorry, not sorry.
Anyways,
the other, I was gonna say you asked me to say the other leaks, so I was gonna.
Go ahead.
Another leak was called the Misty Wood cards.
Ooh.
A series of new dark plant monsters.
Dark? Wait. Dark
again.
Plant.
Oh boy.
Is it like Predaplants but different?
I thought the same thing.
That's what I was leading up to.
They're a series of plant monsters that use flip summoning.
Okay, so Crawler says hi.
The field spell is supposed to create illusions within this misty woods.
Right.
And they're going to be an Xyz summon deck that Xyz summons whenever certain things happen.
Oh, great. So it's Crawler 2.0.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, well, I guess we can keep our eyes open for that one.
Again, these are not 100% confirmed. These are just leaks.
And
that's fine,
Crawler
man.
is just going to be outright better.
Gotcha. Grain of salt rules.
And then finally, the last one I can remember from the leak. I don't remember their name, but they were a series of winged beast fire monsters based on phoenixes.
Oh?
Huh?
With the effects of whenever any of them are sent to the graveyard, you can special summon another one from the graveyard.
Oh, reincarnation.
Oh, so Nephthys.
More like Fire Kings, because Eric, actually played.
Also Nephthys.
But except for the one with that particular name. So they special summon each other from the graveyard.
Okay.
I need an adult.
I am an adult.
I am an adult.
Debatable. Okay, Mimi, no, you're not.
We're gonna die here.
I definitely need an adult now.
We are adults.
Take that for what you will.
Yeah, I feel bad for that. I feel bad for that Winged Beast Fire deck because Called by the Grave is a card.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what comes of it, because if that Fire Wing Beast archetype is interesting, I might consider playing it over Fire Kings.
I'm just, I guess
And their big boss monster is a synchro summon. That basically they synchro summon from the graveyard by banishing cards from the graveyard.
Oh,
Okay,
so
you
the
have
Little
my
League Tri
attention.
Brigade.
Is it okay? Question. Is it confirmed that the effect monsters allow them to synchro, or is it is the fusion monsters? Is it for the synchro summon monsters? Like for the synchro summons of this card, you can banish a tuner and non-tuner monster.
If the tuners are in the graveyard, they can use them for synchro summon from the graveyard.
Oh, so I can just summon Borreload Savage Dragon using a level 2 and level 6 or whatever by banishing these fire monsters from my grave.
So a Phantom Synchro.
Yeah, that's going to be like the third archetype we have now that does Phantom Synchro summoning. First was Blackwing, then it was Shiranui, and now this.
I'm just saying.
We can't really tell what you're saying. Sounds like you're crunching through a tin can.
Hold on. He's having a syntax error. We need to let him reboot.
Control Alt Delete. Okay, that was perfect timing.
Is that better?
Yeah. Much
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, that was my fan. My fan was blowing on my headset, and in order to reboot it, I have to restart the disc.
Nice.
But, well, thank you for the leaks, by the way. That's actually really good insider information. We probably won't see stuff about that for like a week.
Again, these are not confirmed. These are just blah blah blah. You know.
I can't wait to summon Borreload Savage Dragon by banishing cards from my grave. It's gonna be great. This is sarcasm, by the way.
I'm actually looking forward to those Misty Wood cards, because
if they I swear to God, if they tie in Miss Valley with them, I'm going to fucking leave. I swear to God, if another fucking Union Carrier deck with Miss Valley is viable, I'm going to cut my fucking leg off. I don't know.
And then I'm gonna make sure that happens. I mean, nothing. I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, all right. Hey. Sorry, are you trying to get a leg up on Terry?
I swear to God, when I cut my leg off, I'm going to beat you with it.
I'll hold her down. Oh God, no. Okay, never mind.
Are we attempting to redefine curb stomping here?
I have no idea.
Yu-Gi-Oh! How to Curb Stomp 101.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay.
And we are
episode 0, more like episode 69.
Oh,
Giggity.
God.
And the final leak is about 20 new cards for that Wasp archetype they ignored back in Arc V.
Oh, Battle
Wasp? Battle Wasp?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Actually, I like using one of their cards.
I wouldn't mind playing that
cards.
deck. That deck looks genuinely fun. It's just sting, snipe for damage after doing a little bit of battle. Seems like fun.
Yeah,
They're really swarming the archetype before he makes the joke.
Yes. What, do my jokes really bug you?
Fucking Christ! Ah!
Hey. You don't have to get all cards.
Well, that pun was really buggy.
I'm leaving.
Okay, bye.
Alright, how about we just take a 5-minute break, because I think we've gotten a lot of the stupidity out of our systems and we need to catch our break. Let's just take a 5-minute break, shall we?
Fine by me, even though I just came 10 minutes ago.
That's fine. If everyone wants to take a 5-minute break, you do that. I'm going to stay here and see if there's anything left in the list that I made beforehand that we haven't already covered offhandedly. And we're back.
Flying, hurry up and he's doing destruction!
I should have guessed that was going to happen.
All I have to say is,
I swear to God, if
Peace.
you make a motherfucking pun.
Anyways, I thought we might take a moment to discuss something that's been on my mind for a while. Has playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucked with your ability to play any other card game?
Yes.
No.
for me, it's the other way around. Playing Pokemon fucked with my ability to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
The Pokemon card game?
Magic the Gathering is a bad card game, by the way.
Yeah, it's the card game.
Okay, just making sure.
There are other card games.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I think there's one or two.
You know, it's sad that that's not more of a meme.
Yeah. Well, some of you are clearly
Wait, there's
aware
still
that I
happening.
play White Schwartz on the side. It's really fun, way slower than Yu-Gi-Oh!, way easier to enjoy. But my god, every time I sit down and try to play the game and test hands, I keep thinking that I can't activate anything in White Schwartz without being able to fulfill every card effect on it. But as it turns out, in White Schwartz, they are way more freeform about how you resolve your card effects. You don't have to resolve every single effect on the card when the conditions are met. You just resolve whatever you have available to you. It's all cans.
Well then.
On top of that, they also have a mulligan system in this game. You don't have to play with the crappy hand you're dealt. You can actually give yourself a better hand for free.
Doesn't
call
the
back.
opponent get a card in their hand for it?
Nope. Not in White
Oh
Schwartz.
wait, I'm thinking of Pokemon. See what I mean? I'm thinking of Pokemon with that.
I call hacks.
I call hentai.
I chain Maxi.
Good call.
I see what you did there.
I'm gonna kill him. Swear to God.
Throw him in a Pokeball and put him in a copy of Pokemon Blue and leave him there just to rot until he turns into a Missigno.
No, I'd bring him into Nintendogs, and then I just lose the game.
Oh, that's mean.
He needs a new
On that topic, I once caught a what Pokemon was it? I caught a shiny Diglett in a emulator of Silver, and I felt so bad because there was no way for me to transfer it to the actual games.
Abandoned.
Actually, there would have been if you got a I don't remember what the plugin device is for your computer, but you can plug in a game and add code to the game. It's like a hacking tool.
Isn't there
it
a
was
way?
like
You know what you should have done?
There should be a way for like save data from Pokemon games to be
it's like-
transferred to cartridges.
no, it was like just a ROM. It wasn't like me loading it on my computer. It was like a website, so there was no way for me to really do anything about it. To my
No, I
knowledge.
mean like I feel like at some point there should be a way for people to just make those save files in like just transfer the actual save file from the ROM into the cartridge. There isn't is there not a way or
No.
oh it's unfortunate.
Outside of that hacking thing I just mentioned, not really.
You know what you should have done? Should have caught yourself a Butterfree.
Wait, why?
Because Butterfree is like the master race of Pokemon.
Nah, it's boring.
Nani.
I
I
fucking
will
wish.
cut you, Mimi.
Those types and steel types are the two best types.
So, one other question. When I started this idea for the podcast, I took suggestions on ideas as to what people might want to talk about. And the one thing
I'm following a copyright issue. This was my idea. Don't you fucking forget it.
And there was one topic on that list that actually stuck out to me, and serious time. Does MST negate?
It actually does.
It does now.
Does MST do what?
Negate.
No.
Hold on, there's a card that
So it just
it's really
destroyed.
funny.
It does.
Yeah, I had this one friend played Blue Eyes and would always get all of the Blue Eyes for like stuff. And there was this one spell where you banish like everything, including it on the field, the special summon Blue Eyes from the deck. And if you MST that card, you can negate it.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's funny.
Oh, in that
It's
sense,
funny.
yes.
It's funny
Right.
and pathetic how a Blue Eyes card can get negated by MST.
Well, so can
Like-
Tenki and any other field spell that searches.
Yeah.
So in that sense, sure.
So
Based on
MST
the other card,
can
but otherwise,
negate in certain aspects. Great. We finally
Yeah.
got the subject covered. We can put it to fucking bed.
It's confirmed. No one knows what the fuck the card does.
Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh, Yosh.
People read.
no, we play.
I
Yu-Gi-Oh.
know, right?
Who said
It's
that? I
crazy
can't
thing.
tell who said that. There's a list of names here, and I'm not sure who said that.
People
fair-
can read.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Woo woo.
I don't know how to
me.
read. I play Yu-Gi-Oh.
I just used
I
apples.
thought I was the only one that picked up my copy of Farther North by Jack London.
Huh?
Okay, then.
I don't
obscure
I don't
reference of the day.
expect. I don't expect anyone to understand that. I just have Farther North by Jack London, and I've started reading it.
Just watching the
Recently.
comments, someone turns around and goes, "I know that one."
Well, there you go. The one person, that small demographic that likes Jack London. I wish I was born in his time. Anyway.
Alright, so
Yeah, let's just get past that.
I don't think there's much else left to discuss as far as Yu-Gi-Oh! Is concerned or any other card game involving anything remotely close to it. But I will take a moment to talk about Weiss Schwartz if that's okay with everyone here. I know not everyone plays it, but I got a couple of things I want to get out of my system.
Yeah.
First
Go ahead,
off,
Ferdinand.
the game is incredibly fun. It's slow. It's basically the opposite of Yu-Gi-Oh! In a lot of ways, and I love it. I'd invite anyone to take part in it. And I just discovered a couple of things that people might be interested in. First off, the JoJo Part 5 Vento Oreo deck dropped earlier this year, and it looks phenomenal.
Oreo was not that good of a part, in my opinion.
Wait, did it get it got translated already, right?
Yep, it's in English. The trial deck and the card set has officially been released and is available for purchase.
Vento Oreo was not
Okay,
that
yeah,
good,
I
though.
definitely need to get
Part
my
4
hands
is
on that.
better. Part 4 is better.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying Part 5 is a playable archetype in this card game.
I prefer Part 4.
Part 5
No,
was everyone
it's Part
was-
2, 5, then 4, in my opinion.
No, in my opinion, it was 4, 3, then 5, and then 2, then 1.
Nah, Joseph made Part 2, in my opinion.
Part 2 was okay, but it was eh.
Dude, what do you mean okay?
It was.
I don't know
It
what's
was
going on.
good.
It was kind of
They're
Welcome
boring.
to
complaining
my
about
world.
they're flexing their JoJo decks.
Part
You
3 was
said
amazing
it.
for how over the top it was. Part 4
I'm not much of a Weiss person, but I do miss me some Vanguard, because the card that I won my very first tournament with is going to be rebooted this December. I wish it was in November, but beggars can't be choosers.
I actually couldn't get into Card Fight Vanguard.
Card Fight Vanguard was fun
Like,
until they did the reboot.
The card that I first won my very first tournament with was Eradicator, Dragonic Descendant. They're rebuilding him for
Very nice name, to be honest.
Is everyone still there?
I'm still here. It's just
I'm
like,
here.
like the audio shut out.
Will be.
Okay, just making sure because the audio just completely went quiet for me.
It just took a
Is that
shot of
okay?
all.
I
our
just have
faces.
nothing to say about the topic because I literally only play Yu-Gi-Oh.
I
That's
only play
fine, but
Yu-Gi-Oh,
then in that case, let me just spout out a couple of things I'm excited for, if I may. According to the available information I have, they just released Bang Dream Volume 2's deck, don't care. Booster Pack ReZero, Starting a Life in Another World, Memory Snow now has another expansion, and I don't care. Tomb of Nazarick, which is literally Overlord the Archetype, is coming, and I'm excited for that one. Konosuba got another expansion, don't care. Finn and Jake and all the guys from Adventure Time actually got a deck.
Oh yeah, I remember them announcing that at Comic-Con.
They're dropping in November. I haven't
Sounds like
seen...
an adventurous
Oh
time.
damn, how fitting! That's when my birthday is.
Yeah. I haven't actually had a chance to look at the cards themselves, but it looks fun. Oh, and we also got confirmed that Mob Psycho 100 is getting a set.
You're
Lagging
like,
so hard out.
I'm sorry. Oh, hang on. Let me drop and come back.
That's what you sound like, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Okay,
for some
give me a
reason,
second.
Nanashi, you sound like you're.
We'll
Uh,
be right
he
back
sounds like an
after the short
Autobot.
commercial break.
Give me a second. I'll be right back. Do I sound any better now?
And we're back. Yeah, a little better.
Yeah, you sound better.
Okay, well, what I was saying before, Mob Psycho 100 has been given a deck.
Mob 100?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Version
when I
of
heard
Dark
of that,
Edition, Cotter.
I got, what's it called? I got hyped because that means it's like the closest thing we have to One Punch Man, and like hopefully they end up doing that.
I never understood One Punch Man. Here, let's have the strongest being on the planet just be here and just not give a shit. Can't be defeated.
I can actually explain it.
like, I kind of understand it, because it's just like...
Let me explain to you how I interpret One Punch Man, then. Maybe this will help. Did you ever see Family Matters growing up?
What?
Family Matters, the show about the American...
No. Don't act like that's a perfectly normal transition.
No, I'm trying to make a point.
It is a normal transition. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I have seen episodes here and there, yes.
Okay. Family Matters is a show about an average suburban family with a dad that's a cop, a mom that's a stay-at-home who does things on the side occasionally, and a couple of kids that are just trying to live their normal, average, everyday lives. Dating, driving, getting jobs, etc., etc. Then you've got a character named Steve Urkel. He comes in, he does bizarre, wacky bullshit that just throws everything about the normalcy of the show into chaos, and then he manages to resolve it pretty much entirely on his own while still giving every one of the members of the family a headache. That is One Punch Man. One Punch Man is Steve Urkel in an otherwise normal superhero show.
That just sounds like Batman.
Right.
Seems like it, but that's about as easy a representation as I can give it.
Why didn't you just say it's basically Batman but overpowered?
Because I'm 32 years old and I felt like showing my age for 3.5 seconds.
Okay, fair enough.
Dude, trust me, I'm younger than you. I still remember Family Matters, but that's because we had TV Land growing up. Oh, and Nick at Night.
Oh, I miss Nick at Night.
Oh, dude, after this podcast, I'm probably going to march in that living room and marathon an entire season of Night Court. That show was hilarious.
Oh my God.
I wish I could do that, but I can't.
Well, we have that whole show downloaded, and it's high bitrate, and we got it on a Plex server, which means I can watch it from anywhere.
Well, when this is done, I am going to bunker down and binge a bunch of my replays so that way I don't have to worry about me being fucking, what's the word? Fuck, give me a second. It'll come back to me. Just keep talking.
Just keep talking, folks. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Procrastinative. That's the word.
There you go.
I still gotta make a thumbnail.
So, going down the list, does anyone else have anything they want to contribute, or are we good with ending the show here?
Wait, what?
I got one thing. It's not Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's card related.
Go ahead.
So I was watching a Jagwitz video on the fact that they made V cards in Japan, and yes, that's the name. They're essentially Pokemon cards that are they're the equivalent of Mega Evolution, except it's the Gen 8 version, so it's Dynamax, right?
Right.
So with that in mind, with Dynamaxing, you usually double your health, or at the very least add a good chunk to it in the games. So they took that idea to Pokemon, and the first thing that came to mind wasn't why are they so big. The first thing not the creatures, the HP. I mean, the first thing that came to mind was how did it get from the biggest monster being 100 or 120, all the way up to freaking 350, 370 at this point.
That's actually a good question. That's a huge jump. I mean, it's one thing to attribute a stat line like that, or at least something similar to that, to something as big as, say, Wailord, because I don't think any small Pokemon attack's going to do anything to a Wailord unless it's from another freaking Wailord.
Actually, funny you mentioned Wailord. He's one of the few V cards they mentioned.
Oh.
Wales.
if I remember
Wailord
correctly,
gets a
there's a card that's legal now. It's Wailord and Magikarp, and it has 350 HP.
Nice.
Very nice.
It's fucking chonky, dude. He is
Not
massive.
enough.
Like, he's dominating the meta. Well, he was before Gen 8 came and they rotated out some cards.
Wow. Okay, so I think this has been a pretty good podcast. I think this seems like a good
I
moment
have
to end
one
on.
thing to say.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
I'm
go,
worried about how what Yu-Gi-Oh's future. We are
But I
currently
think we all
in
are.
another format where there's now a super spam deck that's like, oh, I'm gonna make this huge board and you can't break it, and another deck that is a shit ton of back row and then just negates that can just be melded into anything, or just have cards shoved in and out of it. And then we have a
Red
deck that
Reboot
can
needs to
just
come back.
prevent people from doing anything.
You can still use
On
that.
top of that,
I want Red Reboot
we
back
keep
to 3.
getting cards
probably
that just are upgrades of hand traps, just except for that Maxi. Rip in peace. I miss that card so much. I'm worried that we're going to continue to get cards like Dark Ruler No More, Nibiru, etc. They're great, they're decent cards, and I understand why they're out. But the fact that we've gotten to this point where we need these ultra powerful cards is just worrying.
It's annoying.
Because it just means that they can continue to increase the power level of all these decks. And that makes me really worried for things coming in. Because, like, for example, that Fire Winged Beast deck that can summon stuff to the grave, they're probably going to be forced to go first in order to prevent themselves from getting hit by Called by the Grave. And other decks are probably going to have to deal with already meta cards. Like, as Farfa said, Farfa talked about how Necra is one of the most powerful decks that has ever been printed is no longer meta. And it's specifically because not only are there cards that can deal with it, well, I guess that was basically what I was going to. There are cards that were just printed. Now the deck can no longer really contest because of all this disruptions just indirectly hit them. I really do think that Konami needs to stop making these huge the huge amount of disruption it has. Nibiru, Dark Rule No More, Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, no material, etc. And they really need to focus on making unique decks and make all of the cards and every booster pack and most of the archetypes, except for like the joke ones, matter.
I agree.
Because we're starting to get to a point where there's a huge divide in the community and it makes everyone spiteful. Like, everyone loves to meme on all of the big cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, everyone likes to joke about Nibiru, or everyone likes to joke about all the shit that happens. Everyone likes to shit talk all the new meta decks. Just like, for example, we lost Thunder Dragon, which was just a board of like a strong ass boss monster from the archetype or two, and then negates, like, as I said, Borreload Savage. I really think that card should be banned because it's becoming generic. And then they had Guard Dragons at full power back then, and now it's just the same thing of like having Quarkymare Guardian, possibly Appaloosa, Adamancer Dragite, which not only has an incredibly strong bounce effect that can just bounce up to 5 cards from your opponent's field to back to their, I don't know, I haven't seen the card, and then just Borreload, and then Dragite has a negate effect. Like, we're at a point where there are 3 decks that are always define the meta, and they're just getting stronger and just getting stupid. I don't want this cycle of printing extremely powerful cards to counter these extremely powerful strategies, and then just more powerful cards on each side keep getting printed. For example, after Nibiru was printed, Appaloosa happened. And now people are just using Appaloosa in those huge combo decks. And even like Adamancipator can search Nibiru.
You know
Well,
what? Part of the problem is,
Yeah,
though.
that's the thing. That's the thing. Nibiru had some unintentional consequences. Like I believe that floodgates should not be searchable.
Mm-hmm. Like, Mystic Mine. Everyone hates on Mystic Mine because it's such a no-brainer card that can just prevent games from happening.
Yep.
I remember in a tag duel, we literally couldn't do anything because the person had fucking Mystic Mine up. And I had the strongest hand a Malefic person could ever have. It was like I could go into my full board with Blue Eyes and Malefic Stardust and Malefic Rainbow. Yeah, I know, the most obscure of Malefics, but it was so strong that it could work with that. And just Mystic Mine was just like, there was no point. I just kept passing. Because eventually they would have to play into, like, they'd have to invest into doing something to extend the game, to get an advantage. This cycle of adding more and more strong cards to counter each side of like spam and preventing it and preventing the searching. It needs to stop. We just need we need to start, and I hate that I'm saying this. We need to start building decks that have boss monsters and strong monsters that are as creative as Thunder Dragon Colossus was. And as much
Isn't that
as
just
that
kaiju?
is a very controversial what?
I'm saying, isn't that just kaiju though?
I mean, I guess, but like
Well,
Thunder Dragon Colossus wasn't a negate. It was
Right.
it was just a small disruption with protection. It wasn't full, but
Colossus
it
is
just
a floodgate,
it
dude.
played in. Yeah, it's a floodgate, but like I'm not saying it for the floodgate aspect. I'm saying it for like the creative part of it. Like it wasn't just an outright negate, and it had protection that played into the archetype. Like for example, it's Garunix that's the Fire King boss monster, right?
Yep.
Fire King Garunix doesn't have a negate. It has a nuke the board thing, but it plays into the archetype, and you can still deal with it. At this point, all the boss monsters are just becoming things like you really can't deal with them.
My friend made a suggestion that to prevent things like that, they should lock down so only cards within said archetype could be used in said archetype. Like how in Buddy Fight, if you had the Dragon World flag, you can only use Dragon World.
That actually
mean,
is something they
Pokemon
should do.
rotations?
I mean, that is
No, but because I'm worried that Yu-Gi-Oh is gonna go the route of buddy fight and have so much extreme shit, people are just done. And
Yeah.
that's the reason why buddy fight is wearing off, because you have time dragons, which is floodgate, floodgate, floodgate. I play end of ruler and you lose your field. I win. 100 demons, which is you take damage for playing the game.
So,
What
Claire,
Konami needs to do is pay attention.
that's. And I mean, that is a good point, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is doing a unique thing with their ban list where they are adding things like Limited 3 and Limited 2. And I don't think that this really. I don't know if this can be adequately applied to the TCG and OCG, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, what they do with Limited 3 and Limited 2, these Limited 3 and Limited 2 cards, you can only, if it's Limited 2, you can only use 2 of them, or if it's Limited 3, you can only use 3 of them. For example, Alistair the Invoker and Cosmic Cyclone are both Limited 3, so you can only use a combination of all 3 of them. You can only use a combination of 3 of those cards. And the reason why was because people were using Cosmic Cyclone in Invoked, and they were using Cosmic Cyclone in order to be able to activate Yami-Yugi's skill, which was draw search spellcasters, basically. Where if the specific amount of life points was depleted, you would be able to automatically draw into a spellcaster, Alistair the Invoker.
oh,
I was
okay.
trying to figure out-
You would just be able to get a big board from that. Yeah. But like
No,
we're getting to a point where that isn't really, you can't really do that with that archetype, because with I guess with Limited 3 and whatever, because it would indirectly hit a lot of other stuff. And I don't think that with like having flags or only using specific archetype cards would work, because it would just screw Danger, a lot of other decks that just use other cards, or multi-decks like UIFA. What happens with that? Are they does it count? Or like I would think that neither of them could be used together. Same with Raid Raptor Phantom Knight, because there are decks that have melded archetypes. Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes. They all like Dark Magician and Blue Eyes go together. Same with Red Eyes, with Dark Magician, and like Gearfried and surprisingly, I think is an archetype too.
Unfortunately, it's because we're on trying times. It's going to be hard for even Konami to even try to balance it out through a ban list.
I really think, I really think that, like, I really hope that just Nibiru and Dark Ruler are no more, and like this, like I guess Dragite were just like tests of like what's gonna happen if we add super strong cards. Because if we continue to like, I'm in this game because my cousin is no longer with me, but he had a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and that's how I play the game because of him. It has become so spam heavy, elite, and negate and floodgate and whatnot that it's no longer fun.
Yeah,
we're going to a point where there's like it's like everyone's being forced to run hand traps and whatever, because if you don't, you're probably gonna lose. Because like for example, back when World Chalice IV and other cards were allowed, people could make fucking huge FTK boards by using Soul Eating Oviraptor, sending Carbonet in, banishing it to summon Flameville Guard, and then just doing Guard Dragon things. If you didn't have Ash Blossom for that, you'd get screwed over.
It's ironic you say that. I can see your issues from your point of view completely, but the whole reason I got back into the Yu-Gi-Oh scenario and even in trying to push myself into the competitive scene is because of the spammy fast engines and the wacky cards that you have to put in your deck. Before, I just felt like Yu-Gi-Oh was just too slow. Now it's sped up to a point where I feel like I can have a fun game, see things that can just go crazy.
That's to expand upon that. That is not the problem. The problem is the end result. In a lot of these decks, the end result is becoming something stronger and stronger and stronger. Like, for example, with Eldritch, they have a counter trap. Their end board is to get a bunch of disruptions, including their counter trap. With Numeron Eldritch, it's the same thing, plus Numerons into Zexal, and then just pass your opponent's turn, hope they don't draw impermanence, activate the effect that they can't fucking do anything, and then just win. And then with Adamancer, as I said, going to Borreload Savage, Dragler, Appaloosa, Komeki, or Guardian, and something else. And then if they try to do anything, you either negate it or pop it during your turn.
Yeah, I still feel like Savage and Appaloosa need to go to 1.
They need to go banned.
If they're going to be reduced, they need to be banned because they already play them at 1 each per deck anyway.
Yeah. Even in my own synchro deck that runs like Adamant Crusader, but
also,
not Adamant Crusader.
Dragite needs to go to 1.
I think
Dragite is another one of those cards that either needs to get banned or left alone.
Or Nibiru needs to get hit because it's a searchable hand trap. That should not be a thing.
They're not going to do it.
No,
I don't think they're going to do it.
If they're going to do anything as far as adjusting this ban list, first off, like I said before, they need to ban Block Dragon. That'll immediately slow these two annoying little rock decks down. That's going to be the first step. The second step is not to ban Nibiru, but rather ban Gallant Granite.
I guess.
Yeah,
Gallant Granite has been... I don't know if Gallant Granite is going to, because I think it's a new card.
Yeah, there's the 3 to 6 month wait period for any card, but I'm saying they need to ban that card. I love Gallant Granite as a card, but in terms of what it's able to access in the game right now, it is not healthy for the game state. Adamancipator can use it, Megalith can use it, it's too good for the game state at the moment. If it were any other time in the game, Gallant Granite would be fine. But as long as Block Dragon exists, and as long as Nibiru exists, Gallant Granite should not.
That part I actually agree with.
Now, hang on. I wasn't quite finished. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep interrupting. There is one thing. If they do ban Gallant Granite, then I could see Nibiru going to 1 and Block Dragon going to 1 because they are nowhere near as accessible anymore. But if they don't ban
You
Gallant
lagged
Granite...
out there.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was saying, if they do ban Gallant Granite, then I could see Block Dragon and Nimbru being 1 or maybe even 2 each. But so long as Gallant Granite exists, those cards need to be banned.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Cool.
I'm just to expand.
Also, on the Eldritch side, Red Reboot needs to go back to 3.
I do agree with that because two trap decks are becoming strong. But that's that's just because they can ignore Nibiru and other cards like that. And they can run like things like Dark Lord No More, Mystic Mind, etc. and perform incredibly well.
Red Reboot needs to go to 3.
I think that they really should just fucking they need to give us back Maxi. They need to give us back Maxi.
Yes.
They really do. Like Max, like if they're gonna continue to do this, where their cards said just discard to negate, just discard to say no, and they're going to continue to do this. They need to add cards that, like 3 Tactical Talent, for example. They just released a card that if your opponent negates something, you get a benefit. You can benefit from it. You can outright benefit from it. You can just steal their card, or you can draw 2 cards, which would basically refresh your hand if you tried to activate a spell that got negated. Like I run 3 Tactical Talents actually in Sacred Beasts, because like if I do and get it off, like for example, if I use any of the effects to like try to tribute the beasts that summon the Sacred Beasts, and they Ash Blossom it, I can activate Talents, draw 2, and if I have gates, or if I draw gates, I can use it and just recur one of them and actually get a forward up again, and actually I can recover.
Okay.
They need to add cards that allow recovery, on top of also considering to power down decks instead of making them either floodgate or negate heavily. They need to tone down the hand traps from the negate.
House of Fibrax needs to go.
I think that, like for example, I love Melfi, I do like Malefic because they're unique, but they do like they're unique. They can win. They're unique and not negating, and they can win just by how they are. Like how I guess how Nekroz Shadal Burning Abyss format was. They all did unique things, and they didn't necessarily have to negate everything in order to play. Same thing with Synchro, even though a lot of decks tried to Synchro spam into the rank level 12s. Like those formats, those decks did things while not having to negate everything.
Right.
Like I feel like I feel like the next YCS or whatever, someone could play calendar traps and have the same amount of chance to win as someone who put $1,000 into their Animancipator deck.
It's funny. My wife and I were actually talking about the format where Nekroz and Shadal and BA were running against each other, and we're commenting on how healthy that game felt. Because you could go back and forth between those 3, or even decks just underneath those 3, and have a good old-fashioned back and forth. I know a lot of people out there advocate for GOAT format because it felt like the most skillful, but I feel like if we're talking about a more modern version of the game, Nekroz, Shadal, BA probably felt like a more balanced and even-powered format, if we're going to pick one. I kind of crave those.
Agreed. This format is definitely not healthy.
It's not.
My deck that I'm even running.
The format hasn't really been healthy for a while. Like before it was Thunder Dragon Orchest and then something else, which was just dark galore.
Yeah.
Dark monsters galore into getting back road in the gates and everything, and then it came to this, which is now the gates, and then going into Xyz and just fucking preventing your opponent from doing anything. And then there's also guys from Eldritch that just set back row in order to prevent your opponent from doing anything. There's the Mystic Mind player that Jeff piloted. You get a couple claps, by the way. Even though I fucking hate your deck, I respect the fact that you ran it, Jeff, and did well. I'd assume that's skillful play at hand.
Anyways, you were going to say something, Commando? I guess not.
I think I don't know. I just really hope that they stop making hand traps and counter and traps like that, which they probably aren't. They made basically a trap gnome material. They just
Yeah.
recently made a trap gnome material, and they added a wind one. I wouldn't be fucking surprised if they made another light hand trap. Like
I'm
effect
definitely
trap.
playing that trap version of gnome material in my Red Dragon art stream.
Yeah, like bloody, and they made a wind hand trap
Ghost
recently,
Girl. Yeah,
and
they just did
Effect
that all the
Veil
Ghost Girls.
doesn't even Effect Veiler isn't even a ghost girl. Effect Veiler is like more other stuff that was out before, like Effect Veiler was
Right.
around in Synchro era. So we're probably going to get a light one later in the future if that other ghost girl didn't count from the promo. Wait, wasn't she dark? Whatever. But like we're probably gonna get that. And then if they're greedy enough, they'll add a divine one. And then I'll quit the game. If I genuinely if I see a fucking divine if I see a divine monster that's a hand trap with 0 attack 1800 defense, I'm quitting the game then and there. Like that'll be I've put
You mean
I've
Divine Beings?
played this Divine Beast, yeah.
It's a monster
I don't
attribute.
think
I know.
Oh,
that's the thing.
Right.
Only 4 monsters in the game are divine. But if they add a divine beast hand trap, I'm quitting.
Okay.
I don't think they'll ever go that far.
I don't think they will either, but it wouldn't surprise me either.
I'd quit then and there.
Okay, so we're officially crouching on 2 hours here. We kind of went over. Not that I'm complaining.
My bad. I
Not
went
that-
on a whole
That was
tangent.
surprising.
I just really badly wanted to get that out there.
I had a feeling, that's why I let this go over. Plus, this is episode 0. No one's gonna give a damn. You feel better, by the way, getting all that out of your system?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, feeling like I'm probably gonna get hand trapped to hell when I maybe go on duel, like 8-0 later. No.
It's
Well,
okay. I'll just do
But
it.
it's not. I gotta go walk the dog anyway after, but it's fine.
All right, so this seems like
I
a good
just
place.
hope that like if I just
And baby nephew.
Yeah.
I
All
just
right,
hope
so-
to hell that if anyone actually listens to this, that they maybe listen to that point of view. Because like, just during these days, during this pandemic, we need to remember that we have the time to sit down and think about how to make things better.
Yes.
And people are complaining about all the negates and all the disruption and all of the you can't play. Here's a point.
All right, I think that's a good point to stop on. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you decided to watch this, I've been your host Nanashi, and thank you everybody for joining me today. This has been actually really fun and a nice experiment. We might actually keep this if we get enough activity on it. Closing points.
By the way, Discord in the description. Feel free to join. Hell, if a bunch of people join, we might start doing events. For example, I was playing Make a Custom Ban List with my idea in mind, less negates, more actually doing stuff and having back and forth. And as we said, as this podcast, Nanashi, hopefully we maybe do like tournaments, like for example with Rada.
Rada.
Promote the Discord. Basically, I'm trying to promote the Discord so we can do like community-based things. And reach out
I
to
get
y'all.
it. They get it, dude. They get it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, even though I was like really late to it.
Me too.
It's fine. We'll try and announce it a little differently next time and make sure that we can pick a point where we can all be here plenty early and have plenty of things to talk about beforehand. Because that little list I had was blown out of proportion within the first 20 minutes.
It's just school stuff. That's about it.
Basically.
Nanashi, remember, you have a plan.
It's not
Expect
timing
plan to go off the rails. Throw away the plan.
Okay,
Dude,
so
throw away whenever you have a plan. You just throw it away and have a good time, and you probably do a great. It's probably gonna be great. Like this.
Exactly.
yeah.
Or just throw away the plan and then summon Red Supernova Dragon.
All right, that seems like a good enough point to end on. I've been Nanashi. We've all been a bunch of card flopping morons having a good time. Hope you had a good time too. Have a good night, everybody, or whatever time of day you're watching this. I don't give. I don't
Set
know.
5 paths.
Bye bye.